Welcome to episode 233 of Fresh Air at 5. In this episode, we are going to talk about AI. A bunch of things about AI and what we can do about it. Ending off with, whatever happens today, I will be able to navigate it. You know, if we run into artificial intelligence or other educational challenges, how do we handle those? We got to reflect in the past and see what we did before so that we can step forward and do it with confidence moving forward in whatever space that is. Okay, I rant on, I go on, and without further ado, you can listen on to episode 233 of Fresh Air at 5.
I'm AJ Bianco from Podcast PD, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows in the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Welcome to Fresh Air at 5, the podcast. I'm your host, Brian Carpenter, coming to you every week from Abbotsford, which is about 45 minutes east of Vancouver, British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada. Fresh Air at 5 is my regular attempt to get some fresh air by walking about my neighborhood, which is located on the traditional and unceded territory of the Stolo people, the Simath First Nation and Mathwe First Nation. I consume podcast content while I walk, then reflect on this content in an unedited video, which I post on my X, formerly known as Twitter, channel every day. This podcast is the collection of the audio taken from those daily selfie videos over the course of a week, Monday to Friday. So let's jump into my listening and learning this past week. Hey, PLN, it's September 30, 2025. Today is the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation here in Canada, and it is a day where we pause and remember and reflect and think about the residential school, the day school, and the First Nations hospital survivors and victims that happened, and how we need to make sure this never happens again to any people groups here in our country. Yesterday, we had a professional development day in my district, and we looked at the blanket exercise, and then we went to listen to a talk by Dr. Keith Carlson from the University of the Fraser Valley, as he talked about decolonializing and indigenizing our education system, and how we as individual teachers in our room need to be confident and be brave to talk about things that we might not be comfortable with. Do the learning ourselves so we can share it with our students. I did that on Thursday, this past Thursday, as I had my grade 6, 7 students, and we talked about Orange Shirt Day. And a week ago today, I had my 9s and 10s and talked about Orange Shirt Day and what does that mean and how have we got to this place and what do we do about it. Did some reflection, made some graphic art projects, and thought about the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation and Orange Shirt Day, and how we all have a place to part to play in doing something about this moving forward. Yes, there's so much going on, and we need to slow down and pause and reflect. So I've done that over this weekend, thankful for this place that I live, this land that I am home on, and this is the unceded and traditional territory of the Mathwe and Simath First Nations. These are 2 Stolo nations, the people of the river. All right, thank you. One more thing for September 30, 2025, as I'm out walking this afternoon, and I didn't walk this morning as I was resting and enjoying this day off from work, for not the Day of Truth and Reconciliation here in Canada. I I didn't go for a walk. But now I'm out for a walk this afternoon because I need to get some kilometers on my shoes and get some fresh air into my lungs and be outside, connected to the land. All right, I listened to Steph and Joe on the go, and the title of their episode is The Research Behind AI. And they talk about a model for delivering professional development that Joe just engaged in a school district in California, where they took students and teachers at the same time through 3 different segments of learning and talked to both of them at the same time. It's kind of like an assembly and kind of like a workshop for both, and both got something out of it. Steph and Joe talked about the research coming out of MIT and Microsoft that talks about the over-reliance on artificial intelligence for things that we can do ourselves causes cognitive disconnect, and our critical thinking goes down when we do that. And we need to stay engaged with our thoughts and our critical thinking. So super important that we don't over-rely on it. But when we use it properly for, as a thought partner, as a way to take our original work and see how we can improve it and be critically minded about that, that is where the goods come from. Steph and Joe talk about a whole lot of other things about artificial intelligence in here and how we need to be mindful and sharing with our students so that they can know where we're at. Brene Brown says, clear is kind. And so if we are clear about what our expectations are, then that is kind to our students. The moment we're ambiguous and we're like, I don't know, but that's when it gets crazy. Joe talked about a level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3 for AI usage on assignments. He's got a website that has this content on it. Take a listen. You can go grab some posters for yourself. All right. Thanks, Steph and Joe. Talk to you guys later. Have a fabulous day. I will.
APLN, it's October 2, 2025, and good morning to you. It's been a week. It is Thursday already, and I have only been out walking one day this week. Yesterday, I woke up late because we had a rough night. One of my kids wasn't feeling well in the night, and I was up with her, so she's feeling better now, which is good, but that really throws you off of your day, and I dragged my butt through school, got through the day, and I'm here now after a really good rest, but then I woke up and it was raining, and I'm like, I'm not going outside. Don't feel like it. And so I sat on my chair and I listened to a podcast. Check this out, episode 164. While I was doing that, also I am working out in the sunroom after schools and doing upper body, lower body, doing some weights. And so I am getting more exercise than not. So just by me missing a walk doesn't mean that I'm not getting some exercise. It just changes how I listen to podcasts. This episode 164 of Check This Out with Ryan O'Donnell and Brian Briggs. Ryan brings up the fact that he went fishing, caught a king salmon, which is also called a Chinook salmon. We've got those up here in our rivers, Ryan. And up here on the shelf, which side? Way up here on the shelf, these jars up here, that's my canned salmon that I've made from sockeye salmon that we caught at the end of the summer in the Fraser River here, just outside of my town, Abbotsford, near Vancouver, British Columbia. And so I love fishing. You guys know I love fishing, and I really enjoy that. As I'm listening to Check This Out this morning, the boys, Ryan and Brian, they talk about a lot of artificial intelligence things, and an interesting conversation that Ryan had with a student in his film class about using AI at all for creative things and for script writing and all kinds of stuff like that. That student obviously is a pretty good writer, I would guess, because she doesn't struggle with the getting the thoughts out and writing a script. So for those of us that are, though, that do struggle, I find it helpful for some tasks for efficiency and things like that. But as we all know, we need to be mindful about the output and what's coming out. Take a listen to Ryan and Brian as they have a great discussion again about artificial intelligence a lot of things related to that, privacy, all those things. And it was National Coffee Day on Monday. I did drink coffee in celebration, though I didn't know. So now I know. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a fabulous one. Check this out, episode 164. Hey, PLN, it's October 3, 2025, and just headed to work. It's been a so full of week, and lots going on, and, I've been tired, so I didn't go for a walk this morning, but I did listen to Monica Burns talk on the Easy Ed Tech podcast, likely episode 338, I'm guessing, because I missed catching the episode number, but it's her video, or her podcast called How to Make Instructional Videos for Your Classroom, and it's a recent episode, and she talks in there about the utility of making instructional videos and how we can use those to deliver information, instructions. We can use them to do announcements, and having a routine that allows you to easily access a video creation tool can really make this a lot more amenable. Making a video can be a daunting thing, but a tool such as Adobe Express has an animate from audio. So you just speak and a little animated character can do its thing on the screen in place of having your face there. If you want to have like a webcam video, that's easy to do as well. You can record and then bring that video into Adobe Express or some other video editor to do the editing very quickly. I teach Adobe Express to my students, believe in it. I think it's a fantastic tool. And as a result of that, we can make videos very quickly. So there's other tools that are there. You could put captions on your videos with auto caption. You can translate them using Adobe Express. Big fan of Adobe Express, as you probably know. And there's lots that you can do with making educational videos. Thank you, Monica. Appreciate you sharing concisely how to go about this process. Now, teachers, get out there, give it a go, and have a try at making educational videos. Okay, talk to you soon. Okay, bye. All right, the last thing for October 3, 2025. I just listened to Teach Happier with Suzanne Daly, one of my weekly regular listens. And today's episode 3 of season 6, is toxic stress to tolerable stress. And Suzanne talks about a mindset of being able to work through stressful situations and having a frame for being able to encourage and mentor yourself through these stressful situations. We all have stress in our lives, and stress, as I listened to a podcast a week ago, it was talking about how stress is necessary for growth. And we know that the stress is necessary for growth. But too much stress, when it becomes toxic stress, is difficult to handle, and it becomes overwhelming and too much. In this episode, Suzanne talks about a quote that she heard from somebody who she respects and listens to. And he said, whatever happens today, I will be able to handle it. And so she talks about that and how the handling part sounds like we've got it figured out, that we can get through this, and whatever it is, we'll be able to do it well. So the handling sounds like it will do it well. So she changed a word in there to whatever happens today, I will be able to navigate it. And now we know that navigation is not necessarily perfect. We like to navigate perfectly. I've got my Google Maps. I turn on navigate. It gets me to where I'm going perfectly. Maybe. Well, does Google Maps know all the things? No, it doesn't know all the things, and we run into roadblocks and challenges and road closures that maybe Google Maps doesn't know about. But we work through it, and we eventually get to our destination. Suzanne talks about how, looking back in our space and in our life, that we can reflect on how we have been able to handle, situations in the past, things that have been stressful, and how we were able to navigate these things. So reflecting and having that time of learning for ourselves gives us some tools for moving forward. Can I do this? Yes, I can. Was it challenging? Yes, it was. But can we do hard things? We sure can. All right, that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much, Suzanne. I appreciate it. And take a listen to Teach Happier episode 3 of season 6 for some daily encouragement today. Happy Friday. Bye.
I appreciate you giving me a listen as I've created this podcast experience for you. It's like a unique Blinkist or Coles Notes version of the content I take in, like a highlight reel, so that you can hopefully find some other interesting podcasts you may not have considered before. I've recorded the specific episode podcast titles and episode numbers in the show notes, which are only a click or swipe away for your learning convenience. I've also started to put together a Spotify playlist of each of the episodes so that you can also take a listen to those specifically, and the link to that playlist is in the show notes. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming episodes. And if you enjoyed this podcast and its format, share it with someone else. You can also follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Brian Carr, BRYONCAR, or at Fresh Air at 5. Tweet about your experience or give it a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Fresh Air at 5 can be found on the Educational Podcast Network. Podcasts for educators, podcasts by educators. I hope you have a fantastic day. Get some fresh air before the day is out and take care of yourself because you are worth it.